Character you are from Stranger Things. Come on, don't give me a female again. I will take him. I like him. Actually, their relationship at the end was one of the stronger things I liked. Okay, so let's get into the last episode of Stranger Things. Let me go have a sip of drink. I just dealt with an idiot, so sorry. Okay, what I thought about it was. I wish I had something good to say. Why were there no Demogorgons in this episode at all? This is the final battle. There's no Demogorgons anywhere to be freaking seen. Why did they treat the damn it, I'm gonna say the wrong name. This guy's got me irritated. What was it called? The big monster. The Mind Flare. Why did they treat it like it was a complete idiot and all it was a gigantic kaiju that the kids all attacked like they were playing a game at the, what's that called, RPG games, where they all come together and they all fight it at once, and like the gigantic monster, the thing that's manipulating Vecna, can't kill even one person. Yeah, that was believable, you know. And then the fight with Elle and freaking Vecna, it's so short, so boring. No special effects hardly at all. I was thinking last night, I was like, why couldn't, like, instead of them going, that's all they did, that's it, that's your power limit. Like, I'm like, there was special effects, but it's like they missed out on so much. At the end, when Elle supposedly dies, and she's like, "Well, if I come out there, that's the end of the experiment. There are no more kids like me." And I'm like, didn't the 12 that Vecna had potential powers, which means that those 12 are basically potential L's? I'm not saying they have the power L's, but they had the potential, because otherwise Vecna wouldn't have wanted them. Technically, Will has the power. So the reason she died didn't make a lot of sense. I'm not gonna say they're as strong as, you know, her, but I'm just saying, if y'all all have that potential power, you have the potential to be Elle. So, and then when they come out of the thing and Elle blows up, or whatever supposedly happens to her, because your heartbeat, everybody's pinned against the wall, everybody's getting arrested. Technically, these people have murdered military people, killed them, interfered with government work. 18 months later, everybody's just out and doing whatever they were doing before. The sheriff's the sheriff, the kids are in school, and you're like, well, what happened? You're like, you don't know, we're just going to lazy write, and 18 months later, everybody's back to where they were. So you get a party on top of the radio building with the older kids, which are basically, we're all going to come together to make a movie once a month or something. It's kind of weird. You had the proposal with the sheriff and his lady, which that was okay for what it was. Let's see, they played Dungeons and Dragons one last time. What I did like about that was, I got that, because I always heard the sentence, yeah, one day is going to be the last day you play with your friends, and you're never going to know when it is. And it was kind of like that was that. Like, this is the last time we'll probably ever play Dungeons and Dragons as younger people. They may come together as older people and play it. And then you got Mike's version of what he thinks happened to Elle. I thought that was somewhat okay. It reminded me of, I think it was called like X or something, where these three kids, they all touched a rock and they all gained powers. And at the end, the one kid's like, he's traveling the world like he told his friends. And it kind of gave me that same vibe with what he was talking about with Elle, and Elle standing there looking at the three, waterfalls. Is that what happened? Is it not? I'm going to tell you what I think should have happened at the end to continue the story. It's really easy. Let's see what else happened. Oh, yeah, really nothing. Well, they graduated, and the smartest kid there cusses the principal out. So, and he basically gave him a new product to sell on Netflix with the new shirt that he was wearing with the Hellfire Club. Yeah. What else happened? I'm trying to think. Oh, anyway, what I was going to say about the last game of the Dungeons and Dragons was that the younger kids come down and their office and sit down and play the Dungeons and Dragons. So I thought that was kind of cool. That was like a passing of the torch. So, like, if we do decide to go further into the story, there's your new characters. So that part I thought was really cool. Okay, now here's what I think should have happened with Elle if you want to continue the story. I don't know for a fact, I don't think anybody does, if the Mind Flayer was dead. It's a gigantic kaiju, but it's an intelligent gigantic kaiju, or this show wouldn't have been going on for as long as it was. So it was powerful as hell. It more or less looked like it went back to sleep. They've tried blowing this thing up numerous times in the show. It never worked. And now they tried blowing it up again. So my thought process is, what if the Mind Flayer, while Elle is down, she has no powers at that point, as he pointed out. What if the Mind Flayer grabbed Elle, and now, because she was powerless at that time, he took her over, and now she's sitting in the place that Vecna was under his control. And that's how you continue the series. And it would be very, 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 very easy to do. So, my one other thing was the mother killing Vecna, taking his head off with what I guess was a rifle or whatever the hell it was. that was pretty brutal, but I got it. It made sense. I still think it should have been Elle doing it myself. Or even Will. Hell, Will got kidnapped. I wasn't a huge Will fan, but Will got kidnapped and tortured. Like, if anybody deserves some revenge on that damn thing, it was Will. So if Will would have grabbed the gun from her, or what the hell that was she was using, and started beating the hell out of it, that would have been understandable, because Will didn't really get a whole lot of revenge on that dude, and he was kidnapped for I don't know how damn long. I can't remember. So, yeah. Well, that's about a 9-minute little tirade about the last episode of Stranger Things. I'll say this. It wasn't what everybody wanted. I know it isn't. I know some people were saying this is the new Game of Thrones ending. Was it? I don't know. I never watched Games of Thrones. My roommate keeps trying to get me to. I might have to check it out, but it kind of sucks to watch a series to know that the very last season is going to be dog crap. So, in the end, I guess you kind of got what you wanted, but you really didn't. You wanted all these theories to be cool. You wanted Eddie to come back. You got none of that. And for them to say that they had planned this all out is the biggest load of garbage I've ever heard in my life, because there's too many hanging pieces that make no sense. All right, guys. Well, sorry I talked too much, but till next time, have a good one.